Once a year, I'm given the opportunity to speak to the entire congregation, to tell you how we're doing and how we can do even better. I know most of you, if not personally, then by sight, and each one of you is special to me. Special in that I consider you part of my family because we are family. My comments this afternoon will be in two parts. The first will be given by Jack, the president of the congregation, and the second by Jack, the husband, the father, and the grandfather. Part one consists of a president's responsibility to ask and encourage each and every member of the congregation to support their synagogue, and that is what I shall do now. This past year, we had originally anticipated a deficit of over $137,000. But we knew what we had to do when we faced that possibility. We tightened our belts even more than ever before. We cut the publication of our newsletter from once a month to once every 3 months. We cut the size and performance of our choir. We allowed no overtime. We cut wherever we could without affecting the education of our children or our daily obligations to you. And because we took these steps and more, we are now in the black by $322.58. Please think about that for a moment. $322.58. Many people worked very hard for the past 12 months to make that happen. And yet, there are some of us here today who spend 10% of that, $32, a quarter of that, half of that, or even all of that on dinner in just one evening. There's nothing wrong with that. We should enjoy the fruits of our labor. But I do ask that you put things into perspective. The cost of just that one dinner donated to your synagogue could help keep us fiscally sound. Some major expenses that we were forced to incur this year were the repair of the brick wall along Middle Neck Road. It was crumbling, falling apart, and becoming dangerous. The repaving of the upper parking lot to protect both you and your vehicles from potholes and injury. The upgrading of our entire security system to help protect you and your children from harm. And finally, the most costly, yet to come, the replacement of all the air conditioning and heating units above this sanctuary and above the congregational hall. And we do that, again, for your safety, security, and comfort. Our only source of revenue comes from you. So it is very important for you to understand that we need your constant support. We can only do our job well if we have the tools with which to do it. Our Kol Nidre appeal for years has come nowhere near to what other synagogues our size collect. So now I respectfully ask that this year everyone here today, member or non-member, give whatever you can to our Kol Nidre appeal. We urgently need your support. Last year, we were forced to initiate a policy of charging for tickets to non-members and to those families whose request for tickets exceeded the 4 allowed without charge. This year only, some of you are here today only because of the generosity of 2 congregant families. These are 4 individuals who cared so much about allowing everyone, whether a member or not, to attend High Holy Day services without having to purchase a ticket. These are 4 very special people indeed, and I thank them. We are also fortunate enough, again, to have another congregant family who will match funds donated to the Kol Nidre appeal in the following manner. Any congregant or non-member who did not contribute to the Kol Nidre appeal last year, but does so this year, their contribution will be matched dollar for dollar. Any congregant or non-member who contributed last year and increases their contribution this year, the increase will be matched dollar for dollar. So please join in to help make this year's Kol Nidre appeal a gigantic success. Thank you. Now you got the other Jack.
See, he's not done. Jack, stand in the middle.
Just middle?
Right in the middle.
Right here? Okay. Last night, I had a dream. I dreamt that I was having lunch with God. God sneezed, and I didn't know what to say. But this morning, I am here, and now I do know what to say. This is my fourth Yom Kippur that I will be addressing you, and it will be my last in doing so. My presidency is coming to an end this June. My term is up, and I will make way for someone new, someone with new ideas, new dreams, and new ways. Since this is my last opportunity, I would like to share some of my innermost thoughts with you. Yom Kippur is a time of renewal in our relationships with each other and with God. The beginning of a new year is also a time to set new standards for ourselves, and I have found myself in the position of having to learn something new, today's New English. Not only should I start understanding the New English, it is imperative that I do so. Every day, I receive text messages from individuals, many of whom are in my generation, and a few select ones that are not, and I have no problem understanding them. It is the new and vibrant younger generation and the millennials that sometimes cause me difficulty and embarrassment with their text messages. For example, someone had advised me that a close relative had just passed away. I replied saying how badly I felt about his passing and ended the message with LOL, thinking it meant lots of love. How was I supposed to know it meant laughing out loud? So as president of this congregation, I feel that it is my official duty to inform those of you who are not yet familiar with the new text lingo exactly what some of the abbreviations mean. WTH, what the heck. LMTO, laughing my tuchus off. TTYL, talk to you later. And then, of course, there is OMG. OMG. I began thinking about that one. That certainly isn't part of any new language. We've been saying, oh my God, for countless generations. There are so many different ways of saying those words. In happiness, in passion, in joy, in terror, in surprise, and in love. The same chord runs through our lives, and whether we practice our religion daily or not, it seems that God is always with us. Those three little yet meaningful words make that connection daily with our Maker, a God that is always there, always listening, always comforting, always loving. God has always been with me. God saved my family from the Holocaust. God gave us the ability to start a new life in America and kept us together and safe. God took this kid from the Lower East Side, brought him safely through the Korean conflict, gave him a loving wife for 49 years, a daughter that was truly God's gift to Joyce and myself, and even today, I see God's continued blessing in my son-in-law and my granddaughter. My relationship with God is an ongoing relationship, and each day I find myself fortunate enough to enjoy the peace and the love that God has and still continues to bring into my life. Many years ago, I read something somewhere which has remained with me all these years, and it is something that I have tried to live by. It read, "You may live only once, but if you do it right, once is enough." So what did God have in mind for me when it was decided I should be president of a synagogue? If nothing else, maybe it was just to remind you every now and then how special a people we are, how special you are, and how we should love one another. And so in closing, I say, OMG. Oh my God, thank you for everything.